Hello, it's Suzanne. I'm here. I'm just here. I had to run upstairs and get my iPad. It was charging. I thought, yes, I've got to use it this afternoon, and it is totally dead. So something had to happen. Bad Suzanne. Hi, Kathy Jo. Thanks for being here. Hi, Yogi. So we'll just give it a minute here. I got everything lined up. Are we good? You guys can see, you guys can hear me. So far, so good. Okay. Let's see if I can get this on my feed. So today, oh good. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh wow, that's awfully efficient of me. Oh yeah. Oh good. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh wow. There, just have to turn off the volume. What else? Oh yeah, I always go through this with the comments. Comments on. Okay, that's good. We should be good. Okay, so I think most people watch this as a repeat, a rerun. So I won't waste any time. Just say hi, everybody. How's your week going? It's beautiful here on the west coast. It's not the wet coast today. It's been actually really hot. So today's a bit cooler, so I'm not sticking to the paper. Don't you just hate it when you lean across some paper and you stick to it because you're all sweaty? Almost makes you want to wear long sleeves in the summer. Okay, so what are we going to do today? We've got a solution to a problem today. So let me show you what we're using. We're going to use two of the Elizabeth Craft design dies, the You Are Perfect and Beautiful and Amazing. And this is a great set to have because the You Are is so useful with, well, with Perfect, obviously, but You Are Beautiful, You Are Amazing. The other thing you can do, like with Perfect, is you can add it to the 4 seasons. So you could say Perfect Summer, Perfect Spring. So that and the 4 seasons make a really awesome set. And oh, this just reminds me that if you're looking for it on my website, it's in Canadian dollars, so it's going to be a bit different than the Elizabeth Craft designs. They're virtually the same, it's just the exchange is happening. So, and they're available on both sites. Okay, so that's what we're playing with today. And we can get rid of the cue for now. And the other thing we're playing with today is the Moda Scrap Relax in the Garden collection. This is actually a really gorgeous collection, and I particularly like it and use it because if you actually take out the flower parts, then it is a great set of papers for guys. And without doing the brown, black, you know, drab guy colors, this is, you might be getting a lot of shine off that. Sorry if you are. There, does that help? And it has some great colors and great patterns, and I really like this set a lot. So it's called Relax in the Garden, and it's available from Elizabeth Craft Designs. And this is the 12 by 12 set, and this is the size that I use. I think it comes in a 6 by 6. Not completely sure about that, but you can go to their site and check that out. So you're probably wondering, okay, Suzanne, what are we going to do with this? Well, oh, one other thing we're going to use vellum. And this is white vellum, they call it. It's Basil Basics, Basil. And it's 40-pound vellum. It's quite stiff. So, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. But I was kind of surprised when I got it, because I ordered it by mail. So anyways, that's a key element in today's project. And the project for the day is a You Are Amazing card. So, I mean, everybody needs a reminder that they are amazing and they're loved and they're thought about. So here's a great way to do it. So The problem being with a lot of these wonderful, wonderful papers, you had this wonderful paper and you want to use it, but it tends to be kind of busy. And then you have the Away with Words that are made with thicks and thins and tend to set up a pattern all of their own. So you stick that on a busy background and it kind of starts to get lost. This isn't the worst case scenario. If I'd chosen another color, it could have just disappeared right into the background, and that's not so helpful. So the solution, I think you probably figured it out, is use a little piece of vellum and put the word on top, and it makes a huge amount of difference. So there's, oh, I forgot to close the door. Hear the kitty? Oh yes, he's going to be helpful. I can just see it. Oh no. He found me. So if things start flying, you'll know what happened. Okay, so you can see the difference. And where that one's almost disappearing and that one's standing out pretty well. So all you have to do then is cut yourself some vellum. And I have this, I got some, I had it in my stash. It's Coordinations cardstock, and it's called Marsh. And I thought it went really well. So again, if you, I'll put that where you can see it. If you have a guy in your life and you want to remind them that they're amazing, or a teenage kid or something, I'm going to be looking around here to see where the cat's gone. It's making me nervous. That might be a great way to go. So, okay, so, and then another little technique. I tell you, this is going to be over in a few minutes, because it's just more of a reminder that this is an option available to you. It can solve a whole lot of problems really fast. So here I have a piece of graph paper, and it's just, it's my Sweet Petunia, actually. It's from my Misty. And it just happened to be handy. So all I'm going to do with this is line up my piece of vellum, and Kathy Jo will give you the measurements for the piece of vellum and the measurements for the pattern paper that I used. And then I'm just going to use this removable tape. It's just Scotch removable magic tape. You could use washi tape if you're good with that. And then, you know how I've told you how you can use the T-square and then draw a baseline? And that gives you a baseline for lining up your words straight on the paper. Well, instead of that, because you're using vellum, you can just see right through it and use the graph paper. So I'll take my little amazing here, and I'll line it up, and I have UR here. Now the UR is actually cut out of the patterned paper, but it's cut out, I used the back of it. This is, there's not a title page, but you know, a cover page that shows you all the different papers inside. Well, I took a piece of that and I used the back of it, because this paper isn't perfectly white. So, and I wanted it to match the background of the front. So, and it has a little speckle in it. It's really interesting. It's beautiful paper. So I cut it out of the back of the pattern paper. So if I put it like that, and that's pretty much centered, then what I want to do is use, let's say use that line. And don't worry about overlapping these, or do I want to go down one? Let's go down one. Don't worry about these die cuts overlapping. Often I see them used too far apart, and the design then kind of falls apart. So stick them close together. They can handle it. So if I want that there, I'm going to make a little mark on my graph paper to show me which line's my baseline. Then I'm going to flip this over and do my favorite technique with glue dots, and these are the micro glue dots. And I scratch them off with my finger and stick one glue dot at each end of the word is a good place to start. And these don't need to be, you know, people aren't going to be throwing these cards all over the place, are they? So these don't have to be held down with cement or anything. Now, if it ends up getting warped, then you're going to want a few more pieces of glue dots tacked down, and put it over a wide spot where flourishes intersect with letters often, and that means you don't have to curl the glue dots so much. Okay, let's just put that there. Oops. Now, you know what? Tweezers really help a lot, because sometimes your fingers are just too big and fat. So I'm going to just grab that like that and center the word on the piece of vellum. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to see. And make sure you get your base line lined up along that line that I wanted there. And then just press it into place. Easy peasy. Do the same thing with the UR. And like I mentioned, I probably should put one more on there. They can overlap, no problem. You can center it or you could put it off to the side. In this case, I'm going to pretty much center it. And that's sort of an eyeball centering it. Again, make sure you get it straight. And you can see U there is along the line. Yeah, I probably want to just take another little glue dot. And just, I can take this off here now. It's my removable tape. Take it off, put it somewhere else. And then just come behind this. Here, I'll do it where you can see it. And hope that the glue dot sticks to the paper and not to you. And there you go. Now, you could cut this piece of vellum the same size as your pattern paper, but then you don't see this nice color, and it sort of, I don't know, it kind of helps make the piece, if you can see that. It sort of adds more depth to it. And then just take and use the glue dots like you're supposed to, and not put your big fat fingers on them, which I do all the time, but never mind, they still stick in there. And once you get this down on the pattern paper, the glue dots don't show. How nice is that? Oh, look, there's even lines on this paper. I hadn't noticed that before, so that helps you keep things straight. Okay, well, I can see the glue dot a little bit over there, but never mind. If you wanted to, you could add some brads or put little gems. If I was Kathy Jo, right, Kathy Jo, I'd be putting little gems in those corners to cover that up. And then I cut a slightly bigger mat of that coordinating cardstock and attach those together. And then, last of all, I would use, because I like dimension in my cards, there's no getting around it. Oh, look, I don't think oh, that's interesting. I just tacked those up there. And that's an option too. But what I do like is having a little bit of dimension to my card. And I would use the 3D foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives, and they're like that. And just peel them off and it's easy. This comes in rolls too, but this saves me cutting them, so there you go. Okay, so there we have it. And I would just finish that off by cutting a piece of the pattern paper that coordinates. Do you want to see that paper again? I mean, you could go really bright. You don't have to go with these greens, but there's so many choices you have here. And if you did want to make it girly, use one of the floral papers. Now that's really going to need some vellum to tack it, to keep the letter from dissolving in the paper. Nice, huh? Here, I can show you a bit more. I was going to use this one, but I thought, I think with a guy it might be better to have it maybe some geometric patterns. So, by the way, I called this the Vellum solution because if you're a chemist, you'd go, solution, well, what's the solvent? And if you're a calligrapher, you'd go, oh, vellum, vellum. That's really cool because vellum means calfskin vellum to a calligrapher. And well, if you're crafters like us, we know what vellum is and how good it is. So, any questions? Because that's about all I've got happening right now. Just a reminder that vellum solves a whole lot of problems when your die cuts start trying to blend in with the background and disappear. So there we have it. So what did we do today? We used vellum to help the Away with Words die cut stand out from a busy background, and use graph paper under the vellum to make sure the die cut words are straight. There we have it. And that's all I have. So I hope that was kind of fun. And it sort of reminded you how to solve a problem, and also to make sure that your die cuts aren't spread too far apart either. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place, and maybe on the promo I'll get the date right. Did anybody notice that? My apologies. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.